The mother became pregnant with the child of her son's classmate, and eventually the son's classmate stabbed the mother and his classmate to death. It's a bit convoluted to say, but this case ultimately resulted in 2 corpses and 3 lives, which was indeed very bloody. Moreover, the scenes at the scene were extremely cruel, and the investigators couldn't help but vomited after they arrived. This case occurred in Langfang, Hebei Province in 2011. One day in May, a particularly foul smell often came from a community in Langfang, Hebei Province for a period of time. The neighbors couldn't stand the smell. They knocked on the door, but no one opened it. The neighbor was afraid something was going on at home, so she called the police. The police came here and knocked on the door for a long time, but there was no answer, so they broke in. After entering the scene, everyone was shocked. I saw a woman lying in the living room, covered in blood, and her belly was slightly bulging. In the bedroom, there was still the body of a young man lying. The sheets and quilts on the walls were covered in blood. According to autopsy findings, the 2 bodies had been dead for about 8 days. The key is that this woman is still pregnant, and the child in her belly must not be saved. Through investigation, it was found that the woman's surname was Liu, and her name was Liu Xia. She was 40 years old when she died. The young man lying in the bedroom was named Ma Liang. He was 20 years old when he died. Liu Xia's son Ma Liang was studying at a local university at the time. Liu Xia came to accompany him, so he rented a house here. The police began to launch a vigorous investigation. They first came to Ma Liang's university to investigate. This investigation revealed that Ma Liang had a classmate named Zhang Shuai, who had disappeared for 8 days. Therefore, the police's investigation focused on Zhang Shuai. Based on clues, they quickly arrested Zhang Shuai in his hometown. Zhang Shuai also admitted that he was the one who killed Liu Xia and his classmate Ma Liang. The key is that his reason for killing people sounds more bloody than movies and TV shows. Because ordinary movies cannot be shot like this, and even if they are made, they will not pass the review. Zhang Shuai said that because Liu Xia was pregnant with his child, they had a conflict and he eventually killed someone. It turns out that Zhang Shuai and Ma Liang are college classmates and get along very well in school. They are close friends and good brothers. Ma Liang's mother Liu Xia rents a house here, so on weekends when she has nothing to do, Ma Liang and Zhang Shuai often come to their house for dinner. After going back and forth, Zhang Shuai came into contact with Ma Liang's mother Liu Xia. The key is that Zhang Shuai's parents divorced when he was a child. He grew up with his father, so he has never experienced what maternal love is. When he came to Ma Liang's house, he felt Aunt Liu Xia's meticulous care. He felt very warm in his heart. As the contact time became longer and longer, Zhang Shuai's feelings for Liu Xia became a bit subtle. His respect for his elders turned into his longing for the opposite sex. So once Zhang Shuai couldn't bear it anymore. One day Ma Liang was not at home, so Zhang Shuai found Liu Xia. After he came in, he directly expressed his love to Aunt Liu Xia. At that time, Liu Xia basically felt like she was struck by thunder and couldn't accept it. She said, "Aren't you kidding me? I'm more than 20 years older than you, and 2 rounds older. The key is that you are my son's classmate," so she rejected Zhang Shuai on the spot. But Zhang Shuai was a bit of a stalker. In subsequent contacts, Zhang Shuai often expressed his love. Liu Xia herself had been divorced for many years, and her relationship was in a blank period. So after a long time, the 2 people really developed a feeling of mutual affection, and gradually they became lovers. In the end, they did what they should do, and what they should do. What happened happened. But this matter must be hidden from Ma Liang. Ma Liang was kept in the dark. A few months later, Liu Xia found out that she was pregnant with Zhang Shuai. At that time, he went to Zhang Shuai and said, "No, I have to beat this child. This kind of thing between the 2 of us is too embarrassing. After beating the child, we broke up. This matter belongs to heaven and earth. You know me. You know, you must not let Ma Liang know." When Zhang Shuai heard this, he couldn't do it. "You already have our flesh and blood, and I am sincere to you. I am not just playing with you. If you give birth to a child like this, wouldn't it be okay for me to marry you?" Liu Xia said, "If you marry me, how will you face Ma Liang and your classmates?" I don't know what Zhang Shuai is talking about, but the key thing now is that we have to study it slowly. You must not hit your child, so we will delay it. After procrastinating for a while, Liu Xia couldn't bear it anymore and said that we should show off to Ma Liang. If I kept hiding it like this, my belly would get bigger and bigger. Ma Liang thought that I had been eating too much recently. So on the day of the incident, these 3 people were at home. Liu Xia told her son Ma Liang that Liangzi's mother wanted to tell you something. She was pregnant. Ma Liang was shocked when he heard this and said, "Mom, when did you fall in love? Why didn't I know? What kind of person did you find? Is he good to you? He is older than you, right? He's younger than you. Hey, he's younger than me. Well, it doesn't matter if he's younger than you, as long as he's nice to you. What does this person do? Hey, you know this person. Which uncle do I know? No. Your uncle is Zhang Shuai." Ma Liang was stunned when he heard this. Completely confused. "Say it again. I don't understand what it means." "Baby, mother is pregnant with Zhang Shuai's child. I'm telling you, don't get excited. Actually, we've been fine for a while. But we couldn't hold it back, don't get excited. Calm down your mood." As for Zhang Shuai next to him, he also said it quickly. "Talk about Liangzi. Calm down a bit. You see, I have liked Auntie for a long time. But I never dared to tell you. I know if I do this, you can't accept it. But that's it. Just help us. Just let me marry your mother. Is that okay?" When Ma Liang heard this, he married him. "Marry your sister. Go to your sister. I regard you as a good brother. You actually want to be my stepfather? Talking. I no longer want to communicate with you." Rushed to Zhang Shuai. He pushed Zhang Shuai to the ground and was beaten violently. Even Zhang Shuai didn't dare to fight back after being beaten. He is mainly just trying to make mistakes. Don't dare to fight back. This is getting more and more exciting as the fighting continues. This Lucia can't help it anymore. "Come here and get this, son." In the process of pulling, the son pushed his mother to the ground in one fell swoop. Then this moment made Zhang Shuai anxious. Thinking, "You can hit me, right? You can't hit my girlfriend. My girlfriend is still pregnant now." He started to resist. He got up and started fighting with Ma Liang. During the fight, Zhang Shuai is anxious. Copy it. The fruit knife on the table stabbed Ma Liang directly. After Ma Liang was stabbed several times, soon there was no response. Lying on the ground, I was dying to see my son stabbed to death by Zhang Shuai. Lucia. That's crazy. He's going to scratch Zhang Shuai. Zhang Shuai is also losing his mind. Come to think of it, I've already killed someone. Stop making trouble. We all can die together. Then Zhang Shuai stabbed Lucia a few more times. Just stabbed me in the stomach. Think about it. Zhang Shuai's biological flesh and blood were not saved either. Those few minutes resulted in 2 corpses and 3 lives. Stabbed to death. What about after these 2? Zhang Shuai hurriedly fled the scene. Ran back to my hometown. When the police caught me, he finally breathed a sigh of relief. Think about it, it's all over. It's just that I was good friends with Ma Liang back then. We are good brothers. Are you talking about this? Sounds like a novel. But it really happened. How do you think we should evaluate the protagonists in this case? I can only use 2 words to summarize it. Weird.